In a quiet village, nestled among rolling hills and whispering trees, where stars twinkle like tiny lanterns above cozy rooftops, painting the night sky with their gentle light, there lived a little girl called Mira. She lived in a small cottage with a bright blue door and a garden filled with her favorite flowers. Every night the village would fall silent, and the world outside Mira's window would become a canvas of dreams. Mira's room was filled with soft moonbeams, her shelves lined with storybooks and jars of collected firefly light. On her pillow sat her favorite teddy bear, and above her bed, paper stars hung from the ceiling, swaying gently in the night breeze. Sometimes she imagined the stars whispering secrets just for her. Mira was curious about everything. She'd chase butterflies in the day, their wings like stained glass catching the sunlight, and count fireflies at night, each tiny spark a secret whispered from the stars. She loved to listen to the wind rustling through the leaves. And sometimes she would talk to the flowers, pretending they could answer back with gentle nods and soft petals, brushing her fingertips. Every bedtime, after a warm bath and a story read by her mother, she'd kneel by her window and whisper, "Good night, moon," as if the moon was listening just to her, a silent friend watching over her dreams. Mira's mother would tuck her in, smoothing her hair and humming a lullaby. The gentle melody would drift through the room, mingling with the silvery light. Mira always felt safe, wrapped in warmth and love. But tonight, something magical, something extraordinary was about to happen. Something that would change Mira's world forever. As Mira snuggled under her covers, her favorite teddy bear tucked beside her, she heard a gentle rustling outside. She peeked out of her window and gasped, her eyes widening with wonder, her breath catching in her throat. A trail of sparkles danced across her garden, lighting up the shadows like a pathway made of stardust. With a flutter in her heart, a mix of excitement and a little bit of fear, Mira tiptoed outside, the grass cool and damp beneath her toes. The garden was transformed. Flowers glowed with gentle light, and the air shimmered with magic. Mira saw tiny footprints sparkling in the dew, leading her toward the old willow tree at the garden's edge. Suddenly, a voice as tiny as a bell chimed, clear and bright like a tinkling melody. "Mira, we need your help!" There floated Sparkle, a fairy no bigger than a teacup, with wings like spun moonlight glowing like a star. Sparkle's dress shimmered with every color of the rainbow, and her laughter sounded like wind chimes in the breeze. "The Moonlight Garden has fallen asleep," Sparkle explained, her voice filled with worry. "The night flowers won't wake up, their petals tightly closed, and the forest animals can't dream without their magic." Mira's eyes grew wide, reflecting the fairy's light. "Me? But I'm just a little girl," she exclaimed, her voice full of disbelief. Sparkle smiled, a warm and reassuring smile that reached her tiny eyes. "You're brave and you're kind. That's exactly what the garden needs tonight." So off they went, hand in tiny hand, following the sparkling trail into a magical forest, a place of wonder and enchantment, where everything shimmered silver and blue. The trees in the Moonlight Garden were tall and twisted, their branches hung with glowing lantern fruits. Strange, gentle creatures peeked out from behind the leaves, tiny foxes with silver fur, rabbits with ears like velvet, and birds that sang lullabies in the moonlight. First, they found Sunny, the sleepy sunflower, his head drooping low, curled up and snoring softly. Sparkle whispered, "He keeps the petals open with his laughter." Mira grinned, a mischievous glint in her eyes. She wiggled her nose, pulled silly faces and tickled Sunny's leaves. "Why did the squirrel bring a ladder to the tree to get to the top nuts?" she giggled, her laughter echoing through the silent forest. Sunny broke into giggles, a deep rumbling sound stretching tall, and moonflowers around him began to glow, their petals unfurling in the moonlight. Next they met the shy butterfly, her wings trembling, hiding behind a glowing mushroom. "I'm too shy to dance. What if everyone laughs at me?" she whispered, her voice barely a breath. Mira knelt beside her, gentle as a breeze, her eyes full of understanding. "It's okay to feel shy. I do too sometimes. But when we dance together, holding hands and twirling, it feels a little less scary." Mira spun slowly, arms wide, her dress swirling around her, and soon Sparkle joined in, her tiny form a blur of light. The butterfly fluttered her wings, joining the dance, and flowers began to bloom wherever she flew, their petals unfurling in a riot of colour. As they wandered deeper, Mira and Sparkle discovered a pond that shimmered like liquid silver. On its surface, moon lilies floated, and beneath the water tiny fish glowed with rainbow colours. A gentle frog in a top hat greeted them, bowing politely. "Welcome, travellers. The Moonlight Pond is waiting for a song to wake the lilies." Mira sang a soft tune, and the lilies opened, filling the air with sweet perfume. Suddenly, a gentle breeze carried the sound of tinkling bells. Mira and Sparkle followed it to a clearing where a family of tiny hedgehogs was tangled in a web of sparkling vines. "Oh dear," said Sparkle, "the dream vines have grown wild." Mira carefully untangled the hedgehogs, humming a calming tune. The hedgehogs thanked her with a chorus of tiny squeaks and gifted her a glowing acorn for courage. The path led them to a grove of singing trees. Each tree had a face, and their leaves rustled in harmony. "To pass, you must solve our riddle," said the oldest tree. Mira listened carefully and answered with a giggle. "The answer is a shadow." The trees clapped their branches and the path opened, revealing a field of twinkling starflowers. At last they found the tired owl, his feathers ruffled, eyes droopy, perched on a branch. "My dreams have lost their sparkle," he sighed, his voice heavy with sadness. Mira reached into her pocket and whispered her favourite dream into a dandelion puff, riding a unicorn across the clouds, the wind in her hair, and the sun on her face. She offered it to the owl, holding it out with a gentle hand. "Now you can have it, Mr. Owl." The owl smiled, a slow, grateful smile, as the puff floated to him and his feathers shimmered with new magic. All around, the Moonlight Garden glowed brighter than ever, filled with laughter, music, and the sweet scent of blooming flowers. Sparkle took Mira's hand and led her back through the glowing forest, the path now illuminated by the happy glow of the garden. "Thank you, Mira. The animals will dream sweet dreams again, filled with joy and wonder," Sparkle said, her voice full of gratitude. As they walked, Mira and Sparkle met a family of moon mice, who invited them to a midnight feast of glowing berries and honey cakes. Mira laughed as the tiniest mouse tried to balance a berry on his nose. The feast was delicious, and everyone shared stories and songs under the twinkling stars. Mira and Sparkle explored a field of giggling grass, where every step made the grass laugh and tickle their toes. They played hide and seek with a family of glowing snails, and Mira found a tiny bell that chimed with every giggle. In the heart of the garden, they discovered a crystal fountain. The water sparkled with every color of the rainbow, and when Mira made a wish, the fountain glowed even brighter. "Your kindness is the magic that keeps the garden alive," Sparkle whispered. The adventure was coming to an end. Mira felt sleepy, her eyelids growing heavy. "Can I visit again?" Mira asked, yawning, her eyes already heavy with sleep. Sparkle smiled. "Every time you whisper, 'Good night, moon,' we'll hear you, and the Moonlight Garden will be waiting." Mira curled up in bed, snuggling into her pillow, the soft glow of a moonflower petal on her pillow, a reminder of her magical adventure. As she drifted to sleep, a peaceful smile on her face, the Moonlight Garden swayed gently in the night breeze, its magic safe and sound. "Good night, Mira. Good night, little dreamer." The end.